The following program is sponsored by Capitec.
Hello and a very warm welcome to the Insider Essay, your guide to living better. Join us today as we open up to connectedness with Stormers rugby couple Joseph and Nomonde Dweba getting away to Idyllic Elgin. After a globe-trotting year of cricket, paceman Daryn Dupavillon and fiancée Taubin Shaw Grove finally get to plan their wedding. Milliner Crystal Birch's summer hats invite you to be one with the sun. Whether your dream is higher education or a new home, join the hashtag Let's Start Today campaign. Miss SA Ndavi Nokeri and first runner-up Ayanda Thabethe make a splash in Cape St. Francis. And the Bala family's new life in the Eastern Cape is a chance to reconnect with loved ones. A happy family of 5 with their 3 daughters, Loyiso and Jennifer Bala, have enjoyed success with their music, management and marketing careers in Joburg. So we were here to find out what prompted the move to Thabethe.
Look who's here. Say hello.
Hi, why are you holding cowboy?
It is the Insider SA, guys. Welcome to our home. It is a very busy morning, like all mornings are, getting ready for school and work. Come inside. Let's go. Come.
Mornings are very, very busy, as you can see, because there are 3 children. These 2 have to get to school. This one needs to be fed in the meantime. There's nappy changing. There's fighting sometimes. Today they're on their best behavior because you're here.
And on that note, guys, we have to run.
Yeah, you gotta get to school.
Let's
Say
go.
bye.
Bye.
Kiss, kiss.
Bye, Toby.
Settling here was an act of faith as much as a desire to reconnect with the Bala family. And it took some leap.
In 2021, Loyiso got a job with SABC Radio to run Umhlobo Wenene and True FM. And it was obviously a big decision because we would have had to move to Thabethe, formerly Port Elizabeth, where we are now. And at the time, I obviously didn't want to move. I was 1 week away from giving birth to Jody. The kids were very settled in Johannesburg and very happy there. And honestly, he hadn't spent that many years growing up here. So I was a bit apprehensive. And obviously I've moved a lot in my life. So I really didn't want to have to move again. So as we do, we prayed about it. We also discussed it at length. He felt that it was in his purpose. With 3 kids and then him commuting for the first 6 months was quite difficult and challenging because obviously I have to then pick up the slack with the kids especially, and I have my own work as well. But we did move. We moved in January 2022 and here we are, and everybody's finally settled, but it has taken most part of this year.
These studios are home to Umhlobo Wenene, second largest radio station in South Africa, with over 4 million listeners. An awesome responsibility.
At the beginning, when I first arrived, I guess a lot of my staff and the presenters were probably like, okay, Sizobo, and I will see exactly where this one is going to go, because we know Loyiso is a musician. We wonder how it's going to be to have him as a manager. So, I could feel like people were really nice. Some were kind of tiptoeing around me. I think even my bosses were tiptoeing around me because I think they weren't exactly sure where this was going to go. But I presented my strategy about 3-4 months to the time that I started. And from then I could see everyone then just beginning to warm up, going, okay, cool, I think he knows what he's talking about. So I think people just need time to get used to a change, because at the end of the day, there's never been anyone like me in this position. As much as I'm new to radio, I'm not new to the industry. I'm not new to managing creatives. So I really believe that the music industry and I guess the entertainment industry has really prepared me well for this. And my studies as well. The fact that I went on and I did a master's in business. If I was not sure back then, I definitely know now that this being here for me has been more about purpose than about career.
It's a chance for Loy to reconnect personally and to his culture.
One of the reasons that I was so excited about moving was the fact that I could be close to Umama. And I guess also for my children to be connected to not only just my mother, but also to the rest of the family. It saves me from having to explain, ni puma pi, where you are from, who's who, because now they'll be able to experience that. And for a lot of us, especially when we move to Johannesburg, I think that's the essence that our children lose, is really understanding and living out our identity. Because at the end of the day, the Eastern Cape is who I am, Dingumxhosa, and Ubuxhosa is not just taught, it's something that is lived. And so it's wonderful that they can experience that for this while that we are here.
The pandemic created the greatest distance between grandparents like Nokuzola Bala and her granddaughters. So she's making up for lost time.
Now that the family lives in PE, we often visit each other, because if they were in Joburg, I was not going to have this opportunity of always being with them because they were far from me. I have time to see them and they keep me fit. I can run around. So that's what I like most.
Was I excited about moving to PE? Well, in the beginning, I wasn't, but now I'm actually finding it more exciting and I'm happier here than Joburg. I've made a lot of nice friends and I also love going to the beach, and it's really nice to have the beach right here next to us. It's just very nice overall.
Jennifer counts the raising of 3 decent human beings as her biggest achievement, in between being a successful social media content creator.
Life is hectic. Working for yourself is a constant job, 24/7, you're on the clock. Doing social media is even more so. People WhatsApp you all times of day. Creating content, especially when it's with kids, you have to wait for them to come out of school. I have to edit when they're sleeping. There's a lot of admin involved. So that's just on my side. Loiso is just equally as busy. He travels a lot, especially in his new role for the SABC. And we just have to juggle. So when he's not around, I'm obviously 2 parents. And when he is around, I make sure that the kids spend a lot of time with him. But he also needs to rest. So it's a constant juggle between finding priorities in that moment. And we often spend time together when he's here, so you won't necessarily find us then going out as much, because we try to take advantage of those moments together.
I think my mom's TikTok videos are funny and sometimes not. But sometimes they're also kind of cool.
The funny ones to me are when I'm in them. It just makes them way funnier.
Jen's content is also a way to enjoy time with her kids while being open about the demands on mothers.
Being in my 40s, I have to really look after my health now. And being a mom of 3, I hardly get any sleep, which has to change. So that is my goal for 2023, by the way, getting more sleep and more self-care for myself. I think it's especially important for moms, especially working moms, although every mom is a working mom, let's face it. Being a mom is the hardest job on the planet. But I think it's very important for all of us to really put ourselves first sometimes, because, as they say, you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to be able to have the energy to look after your kids, have a relationship with your husband, do things you love to do, have time for friends, have time for family, have time for your work. It's a lot. There are a lot of demands these days on people, and I think we put the pressure on ourselves really to do it all. And yes, you can do it all, but not necessarily at the same time, all the time. As I grow older, I see my mom and myself a lot, and I like to remember her strength and know that that's just who I am as well. And I think it shows a lot in the way I also raise my children. They always say I am strict, and I am strict because kids need boundaries. And I just think they will thank me for it later. I'm not overly strict. I can be flexible, and we have a lot of fun as well as a family and individually. But I think when kids are very young, they do need to know the parameters of life, and you need to teach them. And I love having teachable moments. I like them to understand. I like them to have knowledge, because knowledge is power at the end of the day.
When you know better, you do better, insists Jennifer Bala. So she and Loyiso take every chance to connect with their daughters and pass those ideas on. Coming up, it takes 2 to make a hit cricketing career, and SA's Crystal Birch gets the world to reconnect with hats. Ace-man Daryn Dupavillon believes that a dream without a plan is just a wish. Connecting his talent and dreams to such plans has seen him become a strike bowler of note, overcome career-ending injury, and win the hand of fiancée Taubin Shaw Grove.
My career started, fortunately, relatively early. I was fortunate enough to get a semi-pro here at the Dolphins. The start of my career was awesome. I have very fond memories. I got a 5-0 debut, so I had a really good start to my career. The things I love about cricket, I think the challenges that come in every day with them. The nice thing with cricket is there's so many variables that come into it, and it presents so many challenges in every different over, every different spell. If I'm speaking from a bowling sense, obviously there's batting as well. I think those challenges are learning to continually adapt. So definitely have helped me outside of cricket.
Highs have included playing for the Proteas against Australia. The lows, an extended run of injuries. And now, Darren's hit a rich vein of form.
What I love most about the Dolphins setup, I've been a KZN boy my whole life. It's home, it's always been home to me. I really love the environment here. The team environment we've got going, particularly now, is incredible. I've had a bit of taste of success over the last few years. It's really good to be involved in a winning team and a winning culture. From our sense, and what really something we work on and drive on to build our culture here, is the diversity that we have in KZN. We have so many different backgrounds, so many different cultures, and I definitely think, take cricket aside, it's something that's helped me grow.
Teammates like Kaya Zondo witnessed their star bowler suffer repeated injury setbacks to the point of losing his contract, only to watch him regain fitness, form, and his contract.
There was a stage in his career where he had a lot of injuries and stuff like that. I commend him for how he got through that. A lot of guys would have given up. Fast bowlers get career-ending injuries and then they end up not coming back. But for him, it was a big test in his career and he was under pressure and he overcame that. And you can see he's a strong man now and he bowls quick and he's a senior player in our team. He's been around for a long time. He's won us a lot of games as well.
There through it all, from his international debut to rough times to his career revival, has been Darren's fiancée Taubin.
The last few years, Taubs has sort of gotten me onto a few things that I try to eat from time to time, although it is a bit of a force.
We definitely have made a good effort to keep the healthy food in your diet as much as possible, because he doesn't eat particularly healthy when he's not at home.
So what I'll normally do after practice is most of the time I'll come home and Taubs will be busy with breakfast or lunch for us. I'll grab a bite to eat. I'm quite big on sort of keeping my feet up and trying to stay off my feet, especially when we have a hard day of practice. So most of the time I'll end up just relaxing on the couch or something like that.
When they can get away, it's usually to the bush, but during the season, it takes discipline to check any match day issues at the door.
Cricket's something where there's a lot of variables, and I think an ability I've always had is to compartmentalise, to keep cricket separate from home life, because I think if you sort of get mixed up in those pressures and the wins and the losses and the highs and lows, I think it affects you off the field, and I think it's something that maybe just from playing sport from such a young age, you sort of learn to deal with losses and wins and the different sort of highs and lows of emotions. And I think it's something that I've always sort of prided myself on. I'm always frustrated and upset when we lose or when I've had a bad game, but I'm able to sort of put it aside. And when I'm home, I've generally gone through it and sort of looked over the game already and sort of passed on with those emotions.
Having found passions and love outside of cricket, at 28, Darren understands that there is life beyond the game.
So our dogs are Echo and Zulu. They're 2 and 2.5 and 10 months. But they're also really, really great. I really love them. They make it a lot easier when he goes away. I have company all the time.
To those who know the couple, a proposal was as inevitable as the sun coming up in the morning, even if timing did prove an issue.
I went to ask her father. I hadn't done it yet. Obviously, I'd been away for a while. As I was about to ask him, she walked back into the house, so I didn't get the chance to ask him. But once we were that side, it was so beautiful there. I did it down at Lake Navarone, down in the Midlands. I remember giving her dad a call and just saying, listen, not the way I would have liked to have asked you, but so beautiful down here. I have the ring on me, and it's time that I pop the question.
Their big day will be in autumn next year.
The wedding plans are going really well at the moment. Most of it's pretty much done already. Taubs was on it the first 2 or 3 months after the proposal, so fortunately I didn't have to do too much. Just looking forward to arriving on the day, enjoying it with family and friends.
Another national call-up would be the icing on the cake.
I've had a taste of Proteas cricket, and ever since that I've wanted more and more, so obviously that's the dream and the goal going forward. But my plans and my goals have always been, wherever I play cricket, to try win games for whatever team I play for, and hopefully continued performances of such will obviously open up those dreams and goals going forward.
Daryn's father, Derek, still plays club cricket in his 60s, so if his son can just stay injury-free and eating healthily, all is possible. Just when it seemed hats as everyday fashion were making an exit, Milliner Crystal Birch has South Africa falling back in love with headwear.
Hello Insider SA, I'm Crystal Birch. Welcome to the Hat Factory. Let's make some hats! My passion for millinery started at a young age. Apparently I wore one hat for 5 days and I refused to take it off. Always been fascinated with things on the head. I think it's because it changes your persona, and my parents love dress-up parties. As a stylist as well, everything just went towards the head for me. And when I was a stylist in London, I realized I really want to be a milliner. And that light bulb moment, I spoke to my gran and she's like, duh, you are meant to do that. I did the same. And so after that, I thought it would be a hobby, and it just really became my career.
This merry hat designer turned her fashion degree into a master apprenticeship with milliners in London, then returned to restart the local industry.
I feel like I'm playing in a contemporary space with a traditional technique. I would like to educate people that hats are not just for going to a funeral or church or something traditional or very old-fashioned. It's a contemporary piece. It's part of your skincare routine. It's part of the way to express yourself. And I think we've taken an old skill that's been there for 400 years and put it in a modern headscape so that we can show people it's just as important as your belt and your shoes. Millinery materials are very hard to source. We get them from all over the world. We also use so many of our offcuts into trims and press our felt offcuts into flowers. So we try and be as green as possible by reusing everything. I meet incredible people. I never know who's going to inbox me. I never know who's going to call. And that is fascinating. It keeps me on my toes and inspires me. The production process for a hat has many different phases. First, we start with the blocking process. Fiki and Suleiman are the blockers, and they are blocking a bolero out of Panama material. First, it gets sprayed with water and steam so that the fibers relax so they can pull it over the block. Each material is different and stays on the block for a different amount of time for those fibers to expand and to lock when it's blocked and to keep the shape that it's in. The purpose of this photo shoot is to show people how to wear the hat, how to wear it to which occasion, how to style it. You can dress it down, you can dress it up, you can really play and have as much fun with a hat accessory as you can with earrings, belts or shoes.
This one obviously gives me a nice street feel to it, and it's called the raffia pickup. You can style it with different kind of looks. I mean, a nice jeans, a nice t-shirt. You can even swap with shorts over there, a nice vest and some flip-flops as well. So it can go with many, many caps in your cupboard.
Personally, this is my favorite one, the pink dust ostrich feather trim hat. And this hat just makes me feel so chic, so regal, very elegant. And yeah, it's a good conversation starter because the trimmings move. So I think it's pretty cool. I feel luxurious.
The cinema god hat is definitely my favorite. It reminds me of my mother when she used to wear it back in the days when she goes to the funeral. So when I'm wearing it, I'm embodying her. It's just a smaller version of her, so I feel like her in her younger age.
From pop-ups in London to Lagos Fashion Week, Crystal often shows and exports abroad.
The red pin box with the bow, it's very elegant, and I love that I can dress that up or down. I can wear it out to lunch, I can wear it out to dinner, but overall this is my favorite because it protects me from the sun and I can dress it up or down and I feel good wearing it.
Any hot tips for this summer?
I think what I would recommend for the season is always a sun hat that protects you from the sun. That's Cancer Association approved, being under the African sun. Whether you're conservative or more outlandish, something that's colorful, I think you can express yourself, and I would like to encourage people to play and wear hats anywhere. People say, where do I wear my hat? I say, wherever you go, wear it there.
For reconnecting our fashion industry with original, locally made headwear, hats off to Crystal Birch. Just ahead, sun, safe and stylish, Miss SA Ndavi Nokeri and runner-up Ayanda Thabethe surf and ski St. Francis Bay.
Sponsored by Capitec.
Finding a gap to get away to St. Francis Bay wasn't easy for Miss South Africa Ndavi Nokeri as she prepares for Miss Universe while working on her Ed Unite education campaign. When a gap opened up for friend and Miss SA first runner-up Ayanda Thabethe to join her, they grabbed the chance to connect and make memories in a place new to both of them.
Oh my word. Gosh. How stunning is this?
This piece is beautiful.
It's the wallpaper for me. Beach themed art for me. Oh my word. This bedroom is so stunning. Ndavi, you have to see this.
It can't be better than the view. Come check this out.
Unbelievable.
This view is insane.
It's unbelievable. Gqeberha is absolutely stunning.
And it's my first time here.
Mine too.
Actually my first time in the Eastern Cape and I am stunned. I can't believe this.
What proves so refreshing is that Ndavi and Ayanda are naturals who look just as good in their own wardrobes, styled by themselves.
What are you thinking of wearing?
I have no idea. It depends on what we're doing first.
For the boat cruise, I was thinking island vibes. So that top with these.
I love
and then
it.
to finish the look, I bought this hat.
Because what are we without it?
I know.
I love it. I went with a very literal
beach hat.
How cute
That's
is this
so
going to be?
cute.
And I got my bikini top that's black and white.
Girl, I love to dress up. I mean, I think it just elevates your level of confidence. If you look good, you feel good. Cliche, but honestly true.
Wherever these friends go, fellow citizens like Tim Christie and Bridget Rogers want to share their South Africa.
Today is a little bit windy, bit of a chop on the ocean, quite exciting. We are out here going to look for some humpback whales and southern right whales off the second-most southern point of Africa.
Growing up in Dunedin was absolutely a privilege. But being here in the Eastern Cape, it kind of gives me the same feeling. So I absolutely love that. For many other girls who also come from the village, it can be an inspiration that it is also possible for them, that there is so much more out there to experience. We got to see the whales, we got to see the seals, and if we don't preserve it, then the next generation won't get to see it.
The humpback whales are going extinct.
Yeah,
imagine
endangered
only
species.
telling your child that there was an animal as big as 10 elephants and they don't actually get to see that for themselves. It felt like I was in an amusement park, you know, like roller coasters going up and down. I feel like I am an ocean person and now I know
now
that.
you are.
As Ayanda says, you become those who you spend time with, and these two are the best of company.
We got each other on social media, we started supporting each other on Instagram at first, and then throughout the whole process, I think I really did resonate a lot with you. And now also with the journey, you know, being Miss South Africa and then you also being the runner-up, it's like, I feel like I can relate to her still. She's the one person who's continuing the journey with me. So just being able to discuss the things that we go through together and, you know, just being able to support each other, that's amazing.
Without Miss SA, this friendship probably would never have formed because we wouldn't have crossed paths.
Yeah.
Part of this friendship led to a first surfing lesson together with Etienne Venter.
Good morning, ladies. Welcome to St. Francis Bay. We're going to surf here on the main beach, a nice easy beach to learn to surf on. If I say paddle, paddle and go for the wave. If I say wait for the next wave, because not all the waves are surfable.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm always up to trying out new things. I think every time something scares me, it gives me a little push to actually do it, because I found that always builds my confidence.
Since Miss SA, I've had opportunities to do so many things. Surfing for one, I never would have thought I'd like to do that, but I'm genuinely excited to do it.
As you're paddling, give 1-2 strokes. Bring your hands out the water, put them on the board over here, keep your legs together and you lie like this. And from here, what you're going to do, you're going to push on your hands like this and push up and lift your hips up to there.
In doing this, Ndavi takes her whole Limpopo community with on their first surfing safari.
My homecoming definitely has been one of the biggest highlights of my Miss South Africa journey. Just seeing where it all started in the dusty sands of Gabaza village. You just see how much you inspire people when they see someone who comes from there, and it inspires me to do more for myself and for them.
If Ayanda campaigns to end food insecurity, it's her fun spirit which makes her so effective.
What a workout! That was so much fun. Oh my goodness. A bit challenging, a bit more challenging than I expected. The movies make it look way too easy. way cooler.
Loved it so much though, but I am so tired. This was real exercise.
Which keeps both women in healthy shape for another side of their work.
My modeling journey started when I was 5, so I did my first pageant when I was 5 years old, and for me then it was just something fun to do, and I didn't ever think that I would do it as a career, which is something that I'm doing now. My interest in modeling has always been around, but it definitely started more when I was in first year, 2018. I joined a modeling academy that taught me everything that I know, and then I dug into the world of pageantry and I loved what that stood for, so I carried on with that. Like, I love being prepared, so I like learning about what's happening in the world, and I become more focused when it comes to something like that. You really have to know what you're going to speak about, because it's not just about what you look like on that stage. Obviously with pageants, it's about what you're going to say as well. Keeping fit, I think for me, when I am fit, I feel confident when I walk on that stage, and then obviously practicing your walk. You have to kill the walk on that stage.
Rock climbing or go-karting, Miss SA is game, though she hadn't reckoned on jet skiing.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Kerwin. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Kerwin. Yeah, welcome to the beautiful St. Francis Bay. It's an absolute honour to have Miss South Africa and a runner-up here. As I'm sure you already know, St. Francis is a haven for water sports or the water sport enthusiast, from surfing to jet skiing, wakeboarding, etc., etc. So today we'll take you out. I'll just get you guys used to it a little bit in the mouth here. Thereafter, once you're comfortable, I'll take you out the mouth. Please keep your life jacket on at all times and tighten as tight as possible. I'm sure today you'll have a lot of fun. I'm going to get your adrenaline pumping a little bit.
For Ndavi and Ayanda, making the case for South Africans travelling South Africa becomes easier every day.
What an incredible experience just being on the jet ski. Our instructor did a couple of wheelies. He went super fast so we can stretch the limits. Even when we went far into it, he was like, "Do you want to go further?" Yes.
We went very far out, and I was a bit scared at first because it seemed like a very scary scene to be in the movie. We rode the waves. I must say this has been the best thing on the whole trip for me.
One of the most ingenious options for a getaway or unique kind of lunch date was highlighted by Rufus Jordan.
Hello.
As you can see, ladies, at the back is the Cape St. Francis Lighthouse. It's 144 years old. So there's 154 steps to the top. And nowadays we have accommodation as well at the lighthouse. And we've got a beautiful restaurant as well called Nevermind.
For those wanting to escape the news, getting out and meeting fellow South Africans face to face and hearing their stories is an education and antidote.
Here are a couple of interesting facts. This glass is actually magnifying glass, which magnifies the light.
And another fun fact, the light actually reflects up to 52 kilometers away. Imagine.
The light also flashes every 5 seconds, and the light bulb, get this, is 400 watts. And that's very bright if you don't know what that means.
Something requiring no megawatts was Sundowners by the Fire, with champagne and oysters at the Sands at St. Francis, an understated luxury beach house famous for its dinners.
The food was absolutely delicious. The meat was so tender. Oh my goodness, I almost left no space for the dessert. I love being adventurous and doing fun activities, but to do it with a friend is just literally the cherry on top, you know, to experience that, you share the memories, and as you get older, it's the amazing things that you look back on.
I have to agree, memories are everything. And imagine the stories we actually can share later on down the line, the pictures that we took today.
Thank you so much to the Insider SA for this amazing experience.
There have been so many firsts, and it's all thanks to the Insider SA.
To Ndavi, Nokeri and Ayanda Thabethe, thank you for reminding us that making a friend for life is the ultimate connection. Right after this, Rugby's Joseph and Nomonde Dweba connect with their new province, fans and property in Cape Town. As famed as it is for its fruit, Elgin is also dyed-in-the-wool Stormers rugby country. So, while the team's new powerhouse hooker Joseph Dweba and his wife Nomonde were here to reconnect on a weekend away from rugby, all of this is still very much their home ground.
We are at the old Mac Daddy
luxury trailer.
Yes, he has to add the luxury.
Luxury.
And it's a time for us to just reconnect. We've heard a lot about it, so we're just like, there's fun activities to do here, and we're just like, one day away from the kids, this is a perfect space. It's not so far, and it's another way for us to just experience Western Cape as a whole. This was an easy choose.
The trailer's beautiful. We just got in here now. Lovely, lovely place. Couldn't have asked for a better trailer. And as it is, it's the dream.
It's called The Dream.
The dream.
And it is a dream.
It is a dream, 100%.
We met on Instagram. We're both in Free States. I said hi.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he's a rugby player, because even when we met, he had lied to me about his age, because I'm a year older than him. He lied to me about what he does, because he said, no, I don't play rugby. I just hang around with rugby players. So it was very unconventional, and everything happened quick after that.
Nomonde would discover that Joseph was a rugby player, how his talent had funded his studies, but just how far from this game and any thought of such a life he had grown up.
From where I started, it was quite difficult, hard upbringing. I never had everything that I wanted. I never had much. I'm a kid that grew up in a back room. Mom, domestic worker, dad, mine worker. It was hard, but you know, I cherish those moments because I was always with my parents. They were always there. They gave me love. They showed me love, and they still are, still supporting me throughout my career. Now I'm here today. I never gave up. Something that I always preach to myself, never give up. Now I'm here.
Although born in the year of a democratic South Africa's first Rugby World Cup win, young Joseph only had eyes for football.
I used to hate rugby, but I played soccer. But my friends were all still playing soccer. They used to tell me that I'm a cow, inkomo, meaning that only thing I knew how to do was just trap the ball and kick it forward.
But in rugby, that physical presence was a blessing which saw the young talent kick on.
My mom was working as a domestic worker. There were 3 kids that were there. They played rugby, so they actually introduced me into it. So when my mom was busy working, I'll come back from school, after school, so I'd actually start playing there. They would teach me. So there was 3 of them. They needed an extra guy. It would be 2 against 2 and we'll play touch rugby, and that's how I actually started. At a point where things started opening up, I played Craven Week, and then I played SA Schools, and then that's where I actually met one of the coaches, and he told me, listen, do you have an agent? I was like, an agent? what does an agent do for you? He's like, no, he gets you a contract for after high school. And I was like, okay, cool. And that's how I actually met my first agent, and we've had a relationship ever since.
I worked in a lab for about 3 months, and then he had a call-up for a French team. Then I had to quit my job and go up there with him.
I've always told her that, listen, please back me. Please support me. And she's just been supporting me since day one. Having to leave everything in South Africa, going over to France with me, supporting me, supporting my dream. She's just been there.
The deal is, when he retires, it's all about me.
100%. When I'm done, when I'm relaxing, she's going to be taking over.
Yeah. We tried to reconnect. We tried to do a lot of lunch dates. He hasn't been around for a long time. I think it's been like a month that he spent this side since the move from France, and trying to also steal time from his kids, because it's him, me, and the kids. So he has to, and our kids really want his attention. When they're at school, that's how we try to reconnect at the moment.
Time away from devices brought memories of growing up without a TV to watch the Springboks. And now, Joseph is one.
I know if I didn't play rugby, I was definitely going to be working in the mines. So working alongside my dad, 100%, that without a doubt. The day I got a call up from the box, it was a beautiful moment. I remember it as if it was yesterday. We were about to play in Toulouse, and I started getting messages. And it was so emotional for me. I went to the bathroom, I started praying. But before that, I SMS my wife, and I said, listen, babes, we made it.
He said we made it.
We made it. So it was not just about me, it was about us. And I was so emotional that day.
He's a crier.
Ever since we came back from France, they came up to Cape Town by themselves, and then I was with the Boks at that time, and came back, was with the Stormers. I was here for a week, and then I was out again. So now I'm back, so hopefully now I'll spend some more time with them.
It will be 1 full month.
It will be a proper full month at home with my family.
As fierce as rivalry is for spots in the starting 15 of the Stormers, Mr. Dweba gets it no easier in any downtime with his wife.
It's fun. It's fun. It's
fun.
Calming. It's really calming.
We're very competitive, so basically, we're going to try to get it. We're going to try to see who's the best.
100%.
Which will be me.
100%.
A pair of natural competitors. It was once the couple had their first child that Joseph's focus turned to playing for his kids.
I'd say the thing that keeps me grounded is my family. From where I come from to the family that I've made with my wife, my 2 kids. They keep me grounded. They keep me humble. When I look at them, coming back from work as tired as I am, when I look at them, it's that thing of saying, you know what, you're doing this for them, and that keeps me going, and that keeps me grounded.
Prior to Joseph, I was not really interested into rugby, actually sports in general. But now I think also having friends within the circle, I've developed a love for rugby. Like I am now like also screaming at the boys, what's going on? Come on. And I know all the players' names, so that's nice. When Joseph is not in the field, he's very much hands-on. Like we do everything together. I think he's acknowledged how the housework and the kids have kept me busy. So when he's home, it's 50-50. You're no longer a Springbok player or a rugby player, you're strictly a dad.
In a city where their home ground is right on the Atlantic Ocean, these two are getting used to the water.
The kayaking was amazing. I carried that salad. I was doing all the work.
Yo.
I love the water to an extent. Like I like being in the pool.
Yeah.
I think being here also made me like love it even more. Like we enjoyed it. I think it's just a matter of fear.
Every hero has some fear. It makes them human, and soon we saw how relatable a hero Joseph's become to young fans.
There was one guy that came to my school, and he also used to play hooker for Puka back in the days. As he was standing there, I saw this big mountain of a man, and I was like, you know what, one day I want to be like this guy. And he also gave his speech saying that, listen, don't give up on your dreams. We come from a small town. We worked so much to do what we want to do, and no one gave us a chance anywhere.
And I was like, he's 100% right. No one gave us a chance, no one gave us an opportunity. For that, it's just for me to say that wherever you come from, don't give up on your dreams, because your dreams might put you at places that you never thought they would put you. If you keep on believing and you keep on working hard, it will happen.
Buying his mother Nomava a house has been a dream come true for Joseph. Now the Dwebas are buying their own.
Yes, I'm so happy to be back in South Africa. It's just a great blessing for me. I've been included in such a wonderful team, and they're just growing. They're just growing by stature every time. Just to bring my little input that I can as well helps a lot. It's just gonna make us grow and just keep on winning games and hoping for the best.
We're actually buying our first property together, he's bought property for other reasons, but this would be the first one together for our families. And it's in Cape Town. Yeah, we had to think about it, but now we're very definite that this is probably where we want to end off.
It is only the beginning for their lives with the URC champion Stormers, but they're already proudly part of the province.
This getaway has been amazing. All the activities that we did, going around with Big Daddy. It was nice.
Yes,
it was nice.
We enjoyed it thoroughly.
Next up, connecting South Africans to the dreams we have for ourselves and families. A new campaign says, let's start today.
Sponsored by Capitec.
We've only just begun to fully reconnect as social beings, but with inflation, the energy situation and more, it's been hard to stay in touch with our dreams. Since 19 million of us South Africans are clients of the bank, Capitec's Chandre Matlala explained what they are doing to get our aspirations back on track.
Capitec's Let's Start Today campaign is all about inspiring Mzansi to dream again, to get you to start thinking about a dream, change it into a goal, and then actualize it. So financially, you need to start planning and saving for your goals. And it's important as a bank that we inspire and get South Africans into that space where you have that behavior shift, you make your moves, and you get your dreams done.
A garden in midsummer seemed an ideal place to share one's hopes with fellow guests, and events planner Margot Vandenberg obliged.
The brief that was given to us was to create a spectacular, fairy-like dream garden feel and really playing around with light elements. I think that really adds to the whimsical theme that we're trying to create. We've gone with the Capitec colors. We've done beautiful carpeting underneath our lounge pockets to just pull everything together. And then as a floral element today, we've incorporated dry elements that we sprayed in the colors just to pull everything together.
We have a few exciting things lined up for our guests. When they come in, they'll be welcomed with a drink. They can go into the Dream Garden where they will be asked to take a Polaroid and write their dream on a Polaroid. We will put that into a time capsule and send it to them a year later so that they can remember, oh hey, that was a dream of mine a year ago.
This wasn't a hard sell for Chandre, as the campaign closely reflects her own journey from rural South Africa to success in the city.
As a small town girl from the Northern Cape, Let's Start Today is a big behavioral shift for me. If I think about where I was and where I am now, there was a starting point. There was a point where I needed to push myself outside of small town. I had to push myself outside of my situation personally or at school. I had to try and excel at school so that I could get to a better school and get a career that really makes a difference in the lives of my family. So Let's Start Today, for me, gives you that kind of starting point. It tells you that take action now.
To make that shift happen for millions of citizens is what excites Group Executive for Marketing and Communications, Francois Viviers.
South Africa is a legacy of dreamers, but it's not just the big names. It's not just the Nelson Mandelas and the Mahatma Gandhis in the world that were the big dreamers. It's the moms and the dads. Capitec is very proud to launch the South African Dream Board. And it's an opportunity where everyone gets to go onto Twitter or onto Instagram and say, what is my dream? What is the thing that I'm going to do and start today? It's a call to action.
The aim of the campaign is to get South Africa to log their dreams on the Great South African Dream Board. And what we'll be doing from there is every month we will select a dream from that board and we will partner with you as your dream partner to help you actualize that dream.
Social worker turned life coach Landisiwe Binza saw her grandmother empower others this way, and she now does it professionally.
A vision board masterclass is aimed at creating awareness on what vision boards can be. It's about equipping people with the different tools that help them clear the path to manifesting the dreams that they put on the vision board. The key point I'd like for the guests to take away from tonight's session is to explore who they are, to go back and dream as the young boy or young girl they once were, and one key way of doing that would be through a vision board.
In his fellow guests, attorney and influencer Asisipo Burwana had found an aspiring community.
This is such an incredible event to meet other influencers, chat with them, let yourself be known, and just put yourself out there.
My highlight was definitely the life coach. I took away the fact that it's important to always visualize your dreams and that speaking things into existence makes it more real for you to reach those dreams. In my time capsule, I put that I want to graduate with my honors and land an internship at the biggest publication house.
My favorite part of the evening is definitely the dancing, having fun doing what we love. We are for exactly that, like making dreams happen and achieving those dreams and learning how to do so, and also just celebrating ourselves for the dreams that we have achieved.
The event was a massive success. We had our influencer and media friends here to support us, and I think they'll really be instrumental in driving forward that positive message. At the end of the day, this is about Mzansi. We want the greater population to feel good. It starts with one dream a month for now, and then it expands. Who knows? Maybe that story inspires you.
South African Dreamers. You can visit Capitec's Twitter page as well as their website to log your dream using the hashtag Let's Start Today and include what you want to start doing today to turn that dream into reality tomorrow. Plus, share your plan and stand a chance of winning R1,000. Simply reply to the competition post on the Insider SA social media platforms using hashtag CapitecLiveBetter. T's and C's apply and can be found on the Insider SA website.
Another feel-good production.